Hello, my name is Najak Vera, and welcome to another episode of Free Information. Today we are discussing the letter J. J is the 10th letter in the Latin alphabet. You might think it's an I, but it's got a bit of a kick to it. That's the letter J for you, ladies and gentlemen, and all listeners. What begins with the letter J? Well, you could be jaywalking, which is a crime, and you can get a ticket. That is illegally crossing the street. Or as they call it in New York, simply crossing the street. Speaking of New York City, that is, there's a lack of trees there, as it is a city. However, if you go to such parks as Central Park, Bryant Park, that big park they got in the Bronx, which is larger than Central Park, however not as famous, there are a number of trees there. However, please do not climb them. Being that there are a lack of trees in New York City, if you do see any trees on the sidewalk and there is construction around, they will put up a perimeter around those trees. A series of 2x4s protecting the trees. Which is really sad if you think about it, because a 2x4 is a dead tree. Imagine how the tree feels. It's like, don't worry, tree, we don't want anything bad to happen to you with this construction. Never mind the non-New York accent. So we put up your dead uncle around you to protect you. He'll take good care. What? It's like somebody putting your dead uncle's bones around your house. It's like, this will make you safe. No, you're a weirdo. I'm calling the cops. But unfortunately, a tree can't call the cops because guess what? He's a tree. He doesn't have that ability. Phone calls are very expensive for trees. Because guess what? They don't even have any wooden nickels. Making a wooden nickel would be very painful. How cool would it be to actually have a wooden nickel? Also, another horrible thing we do to trees. Telephone poles. The electric poles. Those are made out of dead trees. And we put them right next to the trees. The trees see them. Now, it's one of two things. Either trees are looking at them and they're like, man, that tree looks good. It's got technology on it. This is great. I want to be like that when I grow up. Or they're like, that it's a dead tree. And I see it. Except whenever spring comes around, summer, they get all the leaves. Then they don't see it. Unless a big gush of wind comes, they're like, I'm happy, I'm a happy tree. Oh no, it's a dead tree. And then the wind fades again. It's like, I am happy, I'm a tree, I only see my leaves. And then fall comes, and then it's just like depression with every leaf. And then for the whole season and winter, they just stare at this dead tree. It is obscene what we do to trees. It is not very kind. And I think we should have a tree spokesperson. The letter J. Great letter. There once was a buffet called J.J. North's, and you could spot a third J in how they spelt the N, because the N had a little bit of a. We'll be discussing the letter N in another episode. We did have a write-in for the letter A. That video. We discussed the city of Almaty and how that means apple. It's actually Alma. That means apple in Kazakhstani, or the Kazakh language. We apologize for our errors here on Free Information, but alas, the information is free. We hope you enjoy it. This has been the letter J. On our next episode of Free Information, we will be discussing HIJK. This episode has been brought to you by the color green. The color green. When blue and yellow come together, it looks green because it is green. Thank you once again for tuning in. We are available on pretty much everywhere where podcasts you can find, and soon we'll be on YouTube. That's the goal. There's big goals here, people, to be on a free thing that's just a mess. The algorithm!